sea stone. I never feel quite as full as when alone. The gate stays shut, the world outside can wait. I found my peace before it gets too late. Coffee in the spring garden, warm between my hands. Petals on the table, honey from the land. Every little bird song, every buzzing bee. Coffee in the spring garden, that is all I need. I stir a little sugar, watch it swirl, like seasons turning soft around the world. The jasmine leans above my cup. I drink it down and slowly fill back up. Some mornings ask for silence, some mornings ask for song. This morning asked for nothing, so I've been here all along. Just coffee, just the garden, just this quiet morning here. The afternoon sits heavy, soft and warm. No thunder left to build inside a storm. I lay my book across my knee. The wisteria is waving back at me. I've got nowhere I need to be, just here where the afternoon blooms free. A quiet afternoon in bloom. Petals fill the air like soft perfume. Every color slow, every shadow long. A quiet afternoon becomes my favorite song. My coffee's gone a little cold, but even cold, the flavor still holds bold. A bumblebee considers me, then drifts into the lavender and leaves. I don't need the city lights, I don't need to rush through nights. the stepping stones I go, past the herbs and past the indigo, where the foxglove nods its violet head, where the morning glories frame the shed, where the flowers meet the sun. That's where I want to be, where the day has just begun and the world breathes easily, where the petals catch the light and the bees know every name, where the flowers meet the sun. I'll never be the same. I carry out my coffee and my pen. The garden greets me like an old friend. Nothing here is urgent, nothing's wrong. The only deadline is this bird song. Golden hour on the garden wall. I wasn't searching, found it all. A dahlia, a daydream, a cup. I'll stay until the light gives up, where the flowers meet the sun. That's where I belong. Morning light through the garden gate, petals falling soft. I wake too late. Coffee warming in my hands, watching bees trace their quiet plans. I don't need anywhere else to be, just the flowers, the breeze, and me. Sipping spring slowly, cup by cup, watching the cherry blossoms open up. Soft guitar in the morning haze, these are my sweetest, stillest days. Sipping spring slowly, one more sip. Sunlight dancing on my fingertips, all the world feels far away. I'll stay here in the bloom today. Maybe the world can wait outside. Let the gate close, let the vines climb high. I have my coffee, I have this sky, I have the flowers and the reason why. Stay a little longer, just the flowers, just the breeze. I scattered seeds in early March, and now they've grown into an arch of pink and white above the door. I didn't know I needed more, but here I am, petals in my hair, and peaceful thoughts floating through the air. Petals and peaceful thoughts, that's what spring has brought. No hurry, no regret, just flowers I haven't named yet. Petals and peaceful thoughts, a life I almost forgot, simple and unhurried and true. Petals and peaceful thoughts of you. I write a word, then cross it out, then write it back. What's doubt about? In spring the only right thing grows. You plant the seed and let it go. I used to think the quiet was empty. Now I think the quiet is full of everything that needed a minute, everything that needed to be still. Petals and peaceful, just this. The hydrangea you planted last May has come back blue like a memory stays. I sat beside it in the morning light, thinking of the way you said goodnight. And even in the silence of this garden, I hear you between the leaves. The garden whispers your name between the blooms and the rain. I pour a cup and close my eyes. The roses spell you out against the sky. The garden whispers your name, and nothing ever feels the same. But spring came back, and so did you, and every flower and every morning dew. I saved your favorite corner just in case. Set out a cup at your old place. Maybe you'll come back one afternoon. Maybe these blossoms will carry you soon. I'm not sad, I'm just remembering how the garden used to sing with your voice and your laughter, and how spring kept coming after the garden whispers your name. The light this time of year is unlike other lights. It falls at angles, soft and leans to golden rights. It lands on teacups and on garden walls. It stretches out and barely falls at all. Under the soft spring light, everything feels right. The shadows lean away, the blossoms have their say. under the soft spring light. I sit here through the night, no wait, the whole bright day, under the soft spring light. My notebook open, pen beside my cup. I've written half a page and given up, but that's okay. Sometimes you watch how light moves through the wisteria latch. This kind of day comes once a year, maybe twice if you are lucky. Hold it gently, keep it near. Don't let the calendar rush me under the soft spring light. Just here, just this light. I ground the beans at 7 sharp, the grinder singing like a morning harp. I opened up the window wide and let the spring come tumbling inside. A cup of springtime warm and sweet, every sip a different treat. Lilac on the morning air, coffee rising everywhere. A cup of springtime, that's enough to turn the ordinary into love. Pour another, pour it slow. A cup of springtime, watch it glow. A butterfly mistook my cup for something sweeter, gave it up but left a little wonder there that drifted off into the air. Some people want the whole wide world, I want the garden and this girl, or just this cup. I want the bird song and the bloom, I want the light inside this room. A cup of springtime, that's more than enough. I learned to sit without my phone and just let silence call me home. The peony unfolded there without my help, without my stare. I didn't need to watch it happen. It bloomed regardless of my plan, blooming in silence, the way all good things do. Blooming in silence, the way I'm blooming too. No applause, no audience, just petals, just the dew. Blooming in silence, growing through and through. My coffee cools, I let it cool. Warmth can't be forced, that's nature's rule. Some mornings ask you just to be, not do, not fix, not solve, just breathe. Silence isn't empty, silence is a room furnished with the softest things, like morning light and bloom, blooming in silence, just like you. Mm-hmm. It's a hush, it's a sigh, it's a color heard by the inner eye. And if you stay so very still, you'll hear the whole garden, and you will. The sound of gentle flowers is all I need for hours. A conversation made of blooms that fills the morning rooms. The sound of gentle flowers, softer than April showers. If you know how to listen, everything is glistening. Put your coffee down a moment, put your thoughts aside. The sound of gentle flowers carry you inside. Can you hear it? The garden speaking. Listen. Sunday morning, nothing planned. Your coffee cup beside my hand. The dahlias you brought inside, still in a jar, still open wide. I don't need the world to be larger than this. I just need your coffee and morning bliss. Coffee, flowers, and you. That's the whole world I know to be true. Sunlight on the kitchen floor, petals on the windowsill. I couldn't ask for more. Coffee, flowers, and you. You read the pages, I watch the bees. You hum a little song. What is it, please? I don't ask, I just listen to the quietest love I've ever been in. If every Sunday felt this way, I never wish a single day away. Just you and me in the spring outside, and all the tender things we don't need to hide. Coffee, flowers, and you. That's all I'll ever need. Something moves between the apple trees. It's nothing, just a thought or just a breeze. It carries petals white as paper scraps and lays them softly in my open lap. A breeze through the blossoms comes and goes, comes and goes. A breeze through the blossoms, only the garden knows where it started, where it's going, what it carries, where it blows. A breeze through the blossoms, quiet as the things you love the most. I held my coffee up against the sky and watched a single cloud drift slowly by, then looked back down. The blossom breeze had gone, but left a white petal to carry on. The things I love are fleeting, the things I love come back like seasons and like breezes, like blossom and like that. A breeze through the blossoms coming home. I've been overthinking in the dark. I've been holding question marks like art. But this morning with my cup outside, I let the sunlight take me for a ride. And suddenly the questions weren't so heavy. The sunlight made them easier to carry. Sunlight on my thoughts melts the knots the night has caught. Every worry I've been saving doesn't matter in the paving. Sunlight on my thoughts teaches me the things I forgot, that the world is soft and growing, and the river keeps on flowing. A sparrow landed near my cup and tilted its small head right up at me, as if to say, come on, the morning's short, be with the dawn. I think my best thoughts in the spring, I think the spring thinks well of me. We have an understanding in the light that falls between the green. Sunlight on my thoughts, just breathe. Or taste the rain that fell last week, the soil and the sun and every creek that fed the roots that held the bean, that carried all the places it had been. Spring in every sip, pulse season on my lips. Every flower, every field, every afternoon reveals spring in every sip. In the warmth I let me slip into something slow and good, the way mornings always should. They say you drink with all five senses. I drink with the one that remembers. Every April since I started noticing how the light leans different in the spring. So steep it a little longer, let it warm the hands a little stronger. Let the garden lean in closer, let the season be your toaster. Spring in every sip, just one more. Between the petals there is space, a quiet kind of breathing place. No color, no perfume, just air. A pause that didn't know you're there. The calm between petals is where I want to live. Not in the noise, not in the storm, but in what the garden gives. The calm between petals, a pause before the bloom, a breath before the bird song, an open waiting room. My coffee makes a spiral in the cup. I watch it settle, swirling up and stop, and there it is again. The calm that comes between. Everything that blooms needs rest. Everything that sings needs space. Even flowers take a breath before they show their face. The calm between petals. This corner where I spilled my tea, that paving stone that wobbled free, the afternoon I fell asleep and woke to find the shadows deep. A garden full of moments stacked up like fallen leaves. A garden full of mornings and quiet June and breeze. Every cup I've ever finished, every thought I've let go free. A garden full of moments, that's the life that's grown in me. The year I planted lavender plate. The roses that were worth the wait. I don't keep a proper diary, but the garden keeps a record. Every bloom, every bare branch, every season is a chapter. A garden full of moments and me. Some days come in soft as wool, with nothing short and nothing full of urgency or reasons why. Just open windows, open sky. On days like this I barely think. I just sit down and slowly drink. Soft days and coffee dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. Everything is slightly blurred, like I have remembered words. Soft days and coffee dreams. Life is softer than it seems, and I'm happy being slow on days the whole world doesn't know. The cherry tree is doing what it does. No announcement and no fuss, just blooming in the Tuesday air, like it always meant to bloom right there. I want a life of soft days. I want a house with morning haze. I want the coffee and the garden. I want the time that doesn't harden. Soft days. Coffee dreams. Just like this. The forsythia is yellow now. I wish you could be here somehow. You always loved the first real week, when winter finally turned its cheek. I made your coffee just the same, and sat outside and said your name, thinking of you in spring, when every small thing starts again. Thinking of you in spring, the way the garden always will. Your favorite bench is still still right there. Your handprints on the garden chair. I'm thinking of you in the spring, and keeping all the flowers filled. I don't grieve the way I used to. The grief grew soft the way things do. It sits beside me, drinking tea, and every spring it blooms with me. Missing you and loving spring aren't opposite things. They're the same soft ache, the same beautiful weight. Thinking of you in spring always. Just before the dawn comes in, the garden does a secret thing. It breathes, I swear I've heard it breathe. A long, slow exhale through the leaves. If you wake before the light, you'll catch the garden saying goodnight. When the flowers breathe, everything is soft and free. When the flowers breathe, I forget I ever had to leave the world I made of rush and speed. When the flowers breathe, that's the only word I need. My coffee's not made yet, it doesn't matter. The garden doesn't need my chatter. I sit in the dark and I just wait for the first pink bloom to contemplate. We breathe together, me and spring, each exhale carrying everything that winter held too tight inside, now opened up and spread out wide. When the flowers breathe, breathe with them. I woke up and the whole world smelled like flowers. The kind of morning that redeems the hours. You spent in rooms too dim and thoughts too small. The spring came in and answered every call. The warmth of a blooming day carries all the winter's weight away. Every tight bud opens wide, every hibernating dream comes alive. The warmth of a blooming day is the thing I meant to say. this warmth, this open door, this garden that refused to stay. Asleep it bloomed its way, the warmth of a bloom